Hello, author-illustrator Julie Olson here with another How to Draw series. And today we are learning how to draw a cat. So get your papers ready. Step 1, we are going to draw two rounded triangles. One is upside down, so the pointy end is near the bottom, and the other one is touching it near the bottom edge, but it's right side up. Sometimes it might take you a couple times to get these triangles exactly how you want them, but try and follow the picture above. Step 2 is a pointed oval at the bottom, overlapping the bottom triangle, and then a squash triangle at the top. I put these two guide dots here so that I knew where to draw my triangle. The guide dots are lining up on the right side with the edge of that other triangle. Step 3, we're going to draw a rectangle on top of that triangle, and then another triangle on top, and two triangle ears. Now this video is going kind of fast, so go ahead and pause it and get it lined up just where you want the shapes. Step 4 is 3 rectangles, 3 flat-sided ovals, and 2 tubes. So the first rectangle is shorter, and the second 2 rectangles are longer. Be very careful of the placement. These are going to be the cat's legs later. So try and get them overlapping just right. And the 3 flat-sided squashed ovals are at the bottom. I kind of think of them as half circles as well, if you just like cut a circle in half. These are going to be the cat's paws. And finally we have 2 tubes, one tube coming out the back, which is longer, and another tube bent off of that. This is going to be the tail. Now you see it starting to take shape, and step 5 is connecting with curves, the cat's shapes that you've already drawn. We have 2 that connect at the neck, they kind of curve in and then back out, and 1 on the back. Then we have 1 coming down the right side of the cat. Now I didn't put this as a step, but always before I draw my final outlines, I lightly erase all of my lines. I try and draw lightly anyway, but so for the video, I made sure the lines were dark enough that you could see. But I lightly erase the whole thing, and then I fully erase the interior lines that are kind of crossing or going across open spaces on the face, inside the legs, inside the cat's body. So I make sure to erase those lines that I don't really want to see. Once I've done the erasing, I go on to the final outlines. And if you outline in Sharpie or in pen, I would do it after you outline in pencil, just so you make sure you get your outlines correct. So do your outlines in pencil first, really dark, and then you can go over them in marker, and then you can actually, once the marker is dried, if you use Sharpie, it dries instantly, then you can erase fully all the interior lines. But sometimes I like to have some of those lines showing through. Okay, when you're drawing your outlines, make sure to make little tufts of hair on the corners of those face cheeks. The nose should be right about where the bottom line was of your rectangle on the cat's face, and then draw its little mouth. We've got interior lines for the ears, we've got the back line, and every time there's a curve, I put a little tuft of hair coming out, because that's kind of when the hair sticks up. So we've got the leg, and notice that I'm not connecting all the lines. Just be really careful where you're drawing your dark lines, because we're not totally following the shapes we drew underneath and connecting everything. Just pay attention to what lines I'm drawing here and what lines I'm actually connecting all the way and which ones I'm not. See, we're drawing the cat's foreleg here and its paw, putting some toes on the paw, and that belly goes down, and then I drew this tiny little line underneath the cat in between its back leg and its 2 front legs, and that gives the hint of the other leg. You don't even have to really draw it to notice it's there. because once we do the shading, it'll make a little more sense there. It kind of gets hidden. Now the eyes are two almond shapes, but on an angle. They should be pointing toward the nose. And sometimes it takes a minute to get the cat eyes right. The first time I'm drawing these, they're kind of going wonky on that left eye. So I think I'm going to try again and get those eyes a little bit more correct after I get these whiskers in. Very lightly drew some whiskers in. Now I'm going to try these eye shapes again. Now cat eyes, you may have noticed, are a little different. They're feline eyes, more of slits, wedge shape for the pupils. And step 7 is shading the cat in. So I'm turning my pencil slightly on its side, just like I did in the dog tutorial. If you haven't seen how to draw a dog, I've got that one up too, and you can click on the links at the end of this show for how to draw a dog or even how to draw Baby Yoda. So here I'm just turning my pencil a little bit on its side, kind of like when you turn a crayon on its side, then you don't get a hard line, you get more of a shading effect. I turn it on its side and I'm getting some under the chin. I'm getting under its belly, on that back leg, inside its ears. And then at the base of the tail, well, now if you want a printed version of this, you can go to my website, julieolsonbooks.com, and print out the page. I hope you like this tutorial. Feel free to like and subscribe and find many more drawing tutorials coming up.